Hey guys, back with another video. This one's going to be on inner speech. I've done a video on it before. It's just something that we can't not do. We're doing it all the time, right? We're talking to ourselves internally. We might not be verbally speaking it, but we're having a dialogue with ourselves. And if you're not aware of where you are in life, it's probably mostly from your inner speech, right? Something happens, or you're anticipating something that's going to be happen, or you have to deal with something and meet someone. We start building a story about how this experience is going to happen. And most of us lean to the negative more than positive. So something happens, someone says, hey, you got to go see the boss, right? You're already jumping into fear. Either you don't think, you start talking, yeah, I have been kind of being lazy lately, or I haven't been giving it my all, or I said something mean to so-and-so, or, right? You'll try and find, why does he want to talk to me? And then the second thing we'll do is we'll build a story that isn't even, most times we don't even know anything about it. We don't know why it is, or what's going to happen, or how it's going to go, or if it's good or bad, or we don't know. We just immediately start creating a story in our thoughts and our inner talk, right? And, in the beginning was the Word. That's started everything. So speaking is extremely powerful. That's why these affirmations are so important. That's why a lot of the things I have you do, I want you doing them consistently because of how powerful they are. And if I can get you to stop or change your inner talk to constantly good, hey, something happened, but you know what? It's going to all work out for my highest good. If you can just start changing your attitude to optimist instead of pessimist, a lot of things will happen in your life quickly. Extremely quickly, because majority of the day we're walking around talking to ourselves about something, reliving a past experience, or talking about something in the future, and it's geared towards negative. And so one thing I ask you guys to write all the time because I think it's extremely important. So if you don't want to write that much, and you have a recorder on your phone, or you have a little recorder, every time you catch yourself in this dialogue with yourself, just record. Hey, I caught myself again. I was thinking about this, talking about that, right? And you can do this all day long. And then at the end of the day, you can play that thing back, and you can really, the best thing to do would be actually record conversations you have with people and then play those back. Because not only are you doing it talking to yourself negatively when you look in the mirror and you don't like your cheeks, or you don't like your eyes, or you don't like something about yourself and self-criticism, then you move on to getting in traffic and you're heading wherever you're heading, and you're thought tripping about past experiences or something you're worried about that isn't going to work out in the future, and you're having this dialogue. And if you don't want to write it down, record. Hey, I just caught myself having a bad self-talk about this experience. And be specific so that when you listen to this thing back, you're going to become aware, wow, I talk about this thing all the time. I'm not even aware that I'm talking about this thing, right? And especially when you have conversations with friends or coworkers or whatever it is, and then play that thing back. It's going to blow your mind how much negative talk is in every conversation you're having. Now you times this by 7 days, by a month, by a year, by 10 years. This is why we're programmed in getting the results that we're getting, is because of our inner talk. It's bad enough we're having bad thoughts, but then we're actually speaking it too, either internally or externally. We're compounding this thing bad. If I can just get you to really pay attention to this and figure this out, things will start changing so quickly. right? But it's a real habit. It's a thing you've been doing probably, forever. And if you're not an optimist who's constantly thinking everything's going to work out for their highest good, then that needs to be your affirmation. Everything works out for my highest good. What God does for others, He does for me and more. Something of that nature where you start changing how you feel about yourself immediately, right? So that you can start changing this dialogue. When something happens, you want to get to where you don't react. You respond. You don't say anything, right? When something bad happens, it doesn't even have to be bad. If something happens that's out of your comfort zone that you have to deal with, right? You get to choose. One, is it going to be positive or negative, your interaction with it? And two, if you're going to even react to it. You can step back. You can be upset. You can be mad, but do not speak it, right? Don't double down on the action, right? So you had a thought, it was a bad thought, or you got a phone call and it was a bad phone call, right? We're trained, because we're not monks, we're trained just from normal living to go into fear mode of, oh gosh, I mean, I have to deal with this. I don't really want to deal with this, or whatever the scenario is, but it's mostly negative. And so you start this dialogue immediately. Why do I have to deal with it? You can just go on and on and on. We talk to ourselves constantly. And so this is one of the huge habits to really focus on hard. I've made a whole bunch of videos, and if I assumed everyone was going to kind of, as you started finding me, we're going to kind of go back and start watching things, and it's fine if you don't. I don't care. I'll just keep repeating. That works too. To get you back caught up to where we're at. And inner speech is one of the big ones. It's probably least in the top for me. Speaking, period. There's religions and there's countries and cultures that will not say anything negative because they know the boomerang effect. You say something negative, it comes back to you, right? So they're very aware of standing guard at their mind and making sure that nothing bad goes out so that nothing bad can come back in, right? And when you can start noticing these things quickly, you feel that feeling well up, you stop, you don't react, you respond, you don't say anything, you calm yourself down, and then you say something. Oh, this is kind of a bummer, but yeah, it's all going to work out for my highest good. And then handle the issue or the problem or start a positive dialogue. But you're in control now. You're consciously aware of what you're about to say from here on out. What you've been doing is unconscious program kicks in, and it's swearing and anger and resentments and negative bad words flying out of our mouth or talking to ourselves internally. I really want you guys to work on this really, really hard. This is a huge one. You guys are really going to see a lot of change when you stop doing this. And I just, this is a huge one for me. So inner speech, please, if you don't want to write down every time you catch yourself, record it. Make this a habit. I promise you, your efforts will be greatly rewarded. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.